gamers and collectors, welcome to my channel. My name is Millie and today we are talking about the ins and outs for 2026. What are ins and outs? Maybe you haven't seen this trend, but basically what we're talking about are the things that we want to see more of this year and the things that we want to see less of, that we just want, no, we're done with in 2026. So we're going to start with the ins, the things that we want to see more of in the gaming space, in the community, in the industry, and the first thing on the list is playing your retro games. If you're a collector like me, you probably have quite a few retro games laying around. It's time to start playing them. I think something I might consider doing is start scheduling out a day every week or a time every week where I can sit down and dedicate time to playing a retro game specifically. I want to embrace those nostalgic vibes and experience games that I always wanted growing up but never had the chance to play. My next in is co-op games with a friend pass. I cannot stand games with split screen. It's so terrible. Give me a game pass where my friend can download their copy of the game, but they can only play it with somebody who owns the game. But now we can each play on our own device. I want this to be normalized. I want Nintendo to get on board with this. I feel like this is something that like AA or indie games or third-party games are doing a lot of, but we're not seeing this sort of thing from Nintendo, and I don't even just like Sony or Xbox. I'm not like up to the latest on Sony and Xbox, so you'll have to let me know. But I want to buy one copy of a game to play with someone. I mean, I'm even just playing them with family members. Like, I shouldn't have to buy multiple copies of a game for my whole family to play it. So I want more friend passes. I want family passes. I want family sharing. I love the family sharing in the Steam library, except that you can't play the same game at the same time. Families share. That's what we do. Let us do our thing. We're not going to buy the same game for every adult, every kid, every dog and cat in the household. Come on. This is something I want to see more of in 2026. Please and thank you. The next thing I want to see is something from the community, which is more curated collections. I just love seeing when people are excited about a specific franchise and that's like their whole collection is maybe like 3 or 4 franchises that they just love to play. It is so inspiring to see other people do that, and it kind of helps creates more interest in those games as well, because when I see someone who's like so passionate about Kirby or so passionate about Final Fantasy, it makes me want to dive into those games more. It just kind of like spreads the love for those games. And it's just fun getting to know people based off of their favorite franchises versus like, I have a complete collection for this whole console. Well, what are the games that you actually love to play? And let's focus on playing and collecting what we love and not just everything we can find. My next in is games that have endings. I have too many games on my plate that never end. They always get updates. They're, what do you call them? Like live service games. There's too many of them. They're so good and I play them, but I just so enjoy playing a game that has an ending that I can play from start to finish and feel like I completed something and got something done. Another in for me personally this year is focusing on one collection. In the past, I have collected anything on my list of my wish list of things that I wanted or anything that looked cool or that got recommended to me. And this year, I'm on a tighter budget and I just want to focus on completing my Harvest Moon collection. So when I'm going out game hunting and all these things, there might be a game here or there that I might pick up on a whim, but I really want to try and focus on completing like one type of collection, one franchise at a time, so I can focus and rein in my budget. I think it just makes it a little bit more exciting when you're hunting for games as well. if you're only looking for like a specific list of things. And the last in is something that we should always be doing, which is supporting indie games. I feel like this is more important than ever because prices of AAA games have started to climb, and I am finding more and more and more that I am diving in and craving those indie games, those smaller experiences, or even those mid-sized to large experiences that you're getting from newer studios. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may have noticed that when I talked about my top games for 2025, not a single one of those games was a Nintendo game, and I love Nintendo. There were a lot of indie games on my tops for 2025, and I hope the same will be for 2026. Which leads me into my first out for 2026. I don't want to see $70 games. I don't like it. I think that certain games might be worth $70, but some of like the cozier games, I just don't think they're a $70 price tag. Like, just because you have a big name doesn't mean your game should cost that much. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna harp on Nintendo right now, okay? Princess Peach Showtime is not the same value of Tears of the Kingdom, okay? We have to price these games differently. This is just a little bit ridiculous. I don't understand why we can't price them at a level that will give more access to the game. More people will buy it. You'll get more sales. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. We're paying the Nintendo tax. I don't know if I want to pay that tax, okay? I'm just being honest. I still love Nintendo. I still love their games. I just don't agree with the way that they're pricing them right now. I said it. I'm sorry, Nintendo, okay? I'm sorry. Don't hold this against me, okay? I'm just being honest. Oh gosh, we are just gonna harp on Nintendo, aren't we? My next out is game key cards. They are stupid. Nobody wants them. I can't, it doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of freaking plastic. It's not a long-term investment. Imagine we are 10, 15, 20 years in the future and the Switch eShop closes down and now you have this little key card. Are we gonna be able to download games? Like, can we sell a key card 30 years from now and that person be able to download the game to their console? Or is it just gonna be a useless piece of plastic? I don't like game key cards. I will not be buying game key cards. I'd rather buy a Switch 1 edition of a game than a game key card Switch 2 edition of a game. And I have heard the rumor that they are going to start, possibly they're considering developing smaller cards. For those of you who don't know the situation with the game key cards, basically they only have one size. And when I'm talking size, I'm talking file size, gigabytes, okay? So when a smaller studio is like, hey, I want to print a physical game cart for my game, but my only option is this huge game cart that fits big games, now the cost to print their game on a cartridge becomes too high. So in that case, they would opt for a game key card to save cost so that they can have a physical release, but the game's not actually on there. I actually don't even feel like indie games are the problem in this case. For example, Pokemon Pokopia is going to be a game key card, and it's because it's a smaller game, which also means I don't know why it's selling for $70. And they are putting it on a game key card because the game is not big enough to warrant the price of putting it on the one size card that they offer. The solution to this is offering other sizes so they can pick the appropriate gigabyte size card so that they can sell their game printed on the cart, saved on the cart, for a reasonable price and still make profits. I hope that makes sense. I hope, and if your understanding is different, feel free to tell me in the comments, but that is my understanding of the situation, and it sucks. For physical collectors, it sucks. I do understand that one day we might not have physical games at all, but while we still do, this weird, awkward game key card transition era is just not it. Okay, rant over. Let's move on to the next out. So the next one is paying IRL money for in-game currency. I don't like it. Like, you pay money for fake money and then you use the fake money to buy things in the game. I don't know. And it's also just the pricing models of these things. If they were lower prices, sure. But a house skin being like $50 is ridiculous. Like an outfit costing $30. Like it's just too much. You're paying, like, think about how much you paid for the game, okay? Some of these games you're paying for, some of them are free to play. If I pay $60 for a game and you want me to invest $60 more in in-game currency, I better get a whole game's worth of in-game currency. Like, that currency better basically buy me a whole nother game. Like, it doesn't make sense. Make them cheaper, more people will buy in. It's just, I cannot. There have been so many times this last year where I was like, maybe I'll buy a currency pack for like Disney Dreamlight Valley or Infinity Diggy, and I'm just so glad that I have stopped myself, because the reality is that in 5-10 years, when these games are either not live anymore or not getting updates anymore, what's the point? What's the point? Like, I'm not gonna harp on people who do it. If you do it, that's totally fine. If you're getting your joy and happiness out of it and you feel like that's money well spent, great. But I'm on a budget right now. I can't do that right now. And there are a lot of people in that situation, and I just think they could monetize in a more consumer-friendly way. So I guess this is just a reminder to myself to not give in, okay? Don't give in. You can earn free currency most of the time in these games. But ultimately, I guess what I'm trying to say is I would rather see and pay for a game just straight out. Like, as much as I said I don't want to pay $70 for a game, I'd rather pay $70, get the whole game, get all the updates. Like, maybe there's like 1 or 2 updates, get the updates, and not have to pay and pay more and more to get more content. I feel like I'm getting real spicy and real ranty with these outs. This is a side of me that I don't think any of you guys have seen before. I'm feisty. Okay, the next one is a more personal out, but I think a lot of people can relate to this. We're gonna stop doom scrolling and we're gonna play our games. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop doom scrolling and we're gonna play our games, okay? I've started getting into the habit where I tell my husband, you need to take my phone away. If you see me scrolling and you leave and come back 30 minutes later and I'm still scrolling, you need to take my phone away. Take it away. And there have been times where I catch myself and I throw my phone at him and I say, take it away. Well, I don't really throw my phone, but there are so many games that I didn't get to play because I was just stuck doom scrolling. I think our minds sometimes trick us into thinking that we need those really quick, fast dopamine hits and forget that we can get the same feelings from our hobbies, whether it's gaming or reading or watching a movie or doing sports. Like, whatever your hobby is, put your phone down. Maybe sit in silence for a couple seconds. Think about what you could do with your time and do it. I'll say it again. We're gonna stop doom scrolling and we're gonna play our games. Okay, the last out is for all the haters out there. I don't wanna hear anybody telling me that I don't own my games, okay? Just stop. You don't know what you're talking about. I own my games. I own my console. I own my Switch 2. I own my Switch 2 games. I just don't even know how to address this properly. Okay, so let's start with the console thing. People claim that you don't own your Nintendo Switch 2 because Nintendo can brick it whenever they want. Not true. Nintendo can brick your Switch if you do it with your Switch. I I'm not doing that, okay? I'm not doing that. It's my Switch. They're not gonna break my Switch. I'm not modding it. I'm not doing things I'm not supposed to be doing with it. It's gonna be okay. I own my Switch. And a lot of times what people don't realize is that these policies are very similar, if not the same, with other consoles. Now, the other rumor going around is that you don't own your games. I think this all started with the increase in digital games and the fact that when you buy a digital game, you're technically just leasing the game. And this is true for all types of media. Books, movies, music, games, all true for all types of media. You buy a Kindle book, you're just leasing it. You buy a movie on Movies Anywhere or Apple TV, you're just leasing this, okay? This is true everywhere. And people will come into my comments and say, you don't own your games. Well, first off, I'm a physical collector, so I do own my games. Unless you rob me, you cannot take these from me. When it comes to digital games, yes, it is a risk, but I think it's a really small, insignificant risk. I'm not over here saying you shouldn't buy digital games. I have digital games. I have a ton of games on Steam. I have some digital games on Nintendo, but what I don't like is people coming into the comments and fear-mongering people and telling them that they don't own their stuff when it's just not true. Or they're specifically saying that this is a Nintendo problem when it's actually just a digital world problem. It is not solely a problem that Nintendo has caused. Did this video just become a big rant fest? Hopefully not. Sorry about that. I don't know how to end this video. I'm gonna stop ranting now and we're gonna end the video. So I wanna know in the comments, what do you wanna see more of or less of in the gaming community, in the gaming industry? Let me know down in the comments. If you liked this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Happy gaming, happy collecting. Bye!